Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Big Four podcast. Tonight is just me and Brian. We are starting episode one of a new segment where we're going to call it the fifth quarter, where we have raw reactions, just stuff that we want to get off our chest and talk to you guys about for 20, 25 minutes. Have raw reactions to games the night of, stuff like that, so we don't forget about them. And yeah, so this will be the fifth quarter, episode one. Tonight's agenda, if you know what happened, then you know what we're going to talk about next, but it is the Celtics game. Just dropped their first game of the playoffs against the Raptors. That was a tough one. That's all I can say. Brian, what do you have to say about this one to start?
Yeah, definitely a tough one. I mean, whenever you lose on a buzzer beater with zero point 0.5 seconds on the clock, up two, and it's a three, yeah, it definitely hurts. I mean, you thought you're dancing, looking all good, feeling good. It's tough. Just imagine this game being at the Garden. This game was supposed to be at the Garden.
I know that.
Oh, that would have sucked.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
It's fine. I mean, we played bad in this game, and it came down to Toronto having to hit a buzzer beater through 0.5 seconds on the clock. If that's what it takes for them to win games, this series is over in 5.
Yeah, definitely. And just, I don't know. This is the second time they won last game. They blew them out game one, but this is the second game in a row that they've kind of started off iffy. I mean, the first game it was a blowout within the first 5 minutes. But these last two, they kind of really haven't gotten a sizable lead. I mean, they were up 10 earlier at halftime in this game. Toronto came back and had a huge third quarter, and then the Celtics kind of crawled back, and that was kind of the same story as game two. So I feel like to ease our nervousness, I guess, if you want to say, they kind of need to start getting a sizable lead because I think they're capable against Toronto of doing that.
Yeah, it comes down to who's getting everyone hot. Like in game one, everyone was hot. Like nobody had more than 22 points, I think, in that game. But we had 3 guys in the 20s. I think Smart had 21 in that game. So maybe Brown had 19 or whatever. But everyone was scoring, and it wasn't like, oh, like this game, Kemba had to be the one who was scoring in the first quarter. Nobody else was really making shots, and he had 17. So it comes down to, can the team gel together early on? And I mean, Toronto, I hope this, I mean, yes, it's going to give them momentum. Yeah, they're like, oh, feeling good about themselves. But if we come out strong game 4, first quarter with a nice lead, it's looking good for the Celtics. I still feel confident.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel confident too. They also they have, what was it? They were the only team in the league this year with 3 20-plus points per game scorers. And I feel like when at least 2 of them score 20-plus, which has happened every game in the playoffs, except for tonight. Kemba had 29. The next closest was Jaylen Brown at 19, which is close enough, I guess, but they need to hit that 20-point marker, I think, by at least 2 of their guys each game, and that is a guaranteed win almost.
Yeah, like Tatum was a -3. Yes, that -3 is like right at the end. That's the 3.
I know exactly.
And Brown's a -6, but they have to be pluses. Like when those guys are on the floor, they only combined for 34 points. Like that's not going to do it. Like the C's came out strong, put up 33 points in the first quarter. You're like, sweet, we're on pace. We're going to put up 120 in this game. And then when they go flat in the second, come out really flat in the third. And then the fourth, they went 33 in the first, then 24, 23, 23. That's not going to do it. I mean, you get outscored by 11 in the second half. It put you in a tough position they should have won this game, but
they should have. And at this point, especially in I want to get to Jason Tatum, especially in his career, these are games right here that he has to take over. He needs to make plays because he's at that level right now where he is a star, but he's not taken that jump yet. I feel like these are games where he needs to have the ball in his hands for the last 3 minutes, make plays in order for him to make that next jump. Again, he's super young. I think he will eventually get there. But again, these are games that, you see Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell in the last series. They have the ball in their hands and they're making plays. Tatum kind of deferred to Kemba, which again is a great thing about this team. But I think if Tatum wants to elevate to that one notch above, he needs to step up in these games. And, he didn't really have the ball a lot. But I think that Brad needs to start looking towards him a little bit more.
And I feel like that's what, I mean, the whole game he really wasn't feeling it. Like he only hit 1 3. He only took 4. I feel like when does he only take 4 3-pointers in a game?
Yeah, I
Kemba
know.
obviously was feeling it pretty much the whole time. The Celtics had a bunch of good looks in the last minute that they didn't hit. JT had that really good look, kind of turnaround shot right by the free throw line that he hit back iron, but that was a good look. And then the one I think was kind of the dagger that we couldn't hit. If Kemba hit the 3 from the corner,
Yeah, it was like
game is
the
over.
left wing corner type.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
that
go
one.
on the play-by-play.
Yep.
If he hits that 3, they
Mhm.
are. Let's see, where is it? Kemba Walker misses 3-pointer. So they're up 101-97 with a minute and 12 seconds left at the point at the moment of that
That
shot.
puts them up 7 with
They go up 7 games over.
not a lot of time.
Game is over, and Tatum had the shot
Exactly.
with 42 seconds left that he didn't hit. So
Yeah.
they are. That's it right there. Those two guys, obviously, like you can't blame Kemba. He played a great game, but can Tatum hit that shot? Can they create a better shot on a couple of the possessions late in the game?
Yeah. And when we think about it too, we have Lowry who had 31, Fred who had 25. So that is far and away both of their best games of the series. Siakam had 16. That's his best game of the series, and I also don't see him scoring anything above 16 this series because Jaylen Brown and Grant Williams and Tatum on him.
How is Pascal a plus 12 though? He played awful.
Yeah, I know. I feel that is surprising too. It was probably during that huge run in the third quarter that helped boost that a lot. But anyways, like I said, Lowry with 31, Fred with 25, and Boston still lost by 1. So Lowry and VanVleet both exceeded their points per game for the season, and they still only won by 1 on an OG Anunoby 3. So I think that
prayer.
Yeah, I think that they're fine.
They're fine. It all comes down to, so it goes from game 4 being a closeout game. We can go back-to-back sweeps, feeling absolute great. But now game 4 is a must win. Like they have to win this game. And I think it's good for them. I mean, they were riding high, right? They played pretty good in the restart games in the bubble. Go 5-3, but they played well. They and then easily sweep Philly. First 2 games, game 2 was close, but they had a pretty easy way in the first 6 games. Like now it's like, okay, like we're not unstoppable. Like let's go now. It's real. It's the playoffs. There's going to be battles.
It was inevitable that they were going to lose at least one game. So it's not an overreaction. It's just tough to see them lose that way. I mean,
it's by far the worst way to lose. It's awful. It sucks. It's you go from hitting let's talk about this play real quick. Kemba, right? So VanVleet goes down the floor, down 2, hits a pretty acrobatic layup to tie the game.
And remember that was off of an offensive rebound because VanVleet missed the 3 before. They got the offensive rebound and then he drove off the Tice.
Right. That's So he makes that pretty good athletic play that tied it for Toronto. And it's, where am I here? What am I looking at?
No timeout by Brad Kemba with the ball.
That's what I was like, okay, that's bold, right? But it comes down to, this is the sequence that killed us. So Celtics are up 4. Kemba misses the 3. Toronto goes down the floor. Lowry hits the shot. Tatum misses the shot that could have put it away. And then they get the offensive rebound. And then they tie the game. So that's the sequence right there. From 42 seconds to 21 seconds, they had the game. And they couldn't get that rebound, and Tatum couldn't hit the shot. But I like not calling a timeout. I feel like that kind of just like you trust that. Like it's always like, oh, call a timeout. You only call a timeout if you get to like 6 seconds left in the front court and you're like, okay, not loving what I see. Let's draw it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like hitting a shot from an inbound is like less likely because I think just playing the game and trusting yourself is the best buzzer beaters or best
Mm-hmm.
clutch shots. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's annoying. I wish that Tice, what a play by Kemba, just getting it to
that
Tice.
was
What
a
a
good
pass.
play.
Kyrie would
He
have
had
never
three
done that.
guys on him too.
Yeah,
Three guys
like
on him.
what a pass. What a find. Good job by Tice being ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish it took a couple tenths of a second longer,
I know.
just a little bit.
I know. And as much as we hate Lowry and Nick Nurse, that was a crazy play call because they had so when looking back at it, they had Taco on the inbounder, right? Then they had two
Mhm.
guys opposite sides of the court near half court. The Raptors did one guy on each of them, so that leaves Tice and Jaylen Brown for Marc Gasol at the free throw line and OG on the near corner. For whatever reason, Tice and Brown are like both in the paint guarding Gasol.
Yeah,
Anunoby
like you
sneaks
can give
behind.
up the two.
Yeah,
Like
Anunoby sneaks behind Brown without Brown noticing, and Brown's just laser focused on Gasol while Anunoby's wide open in the opposite corner. I don't know why they didn't just go man to man
if
and put.
if
So this is what. So hold on, let me look because
if
Rob Williams
no, no,
didn't play enough to
no,
foul
Rob
out.
Williams only
Have
played 14 minutes. Why is he
have
not playing
Rob
more
have Rob on Marc
instead of
Gasol because he's
Tice?
taller instead of Tice. Take Tice out. Brown on Anunoby. Kemba on whoever. Smart on whoever, and then Taco on the inbounder. Boom, there it is.
I
Like
just
why have Tice in that situation who is 3 to 4 inches shorter than Gasol to potentially have
and
that lob?
if they did lob it to Gasol, is Gasol quick enough to get a shot off in 0.5
No,
seconds?
no.
If he makes the shot, props to him. We go to overtime. Fine. I'm confident in overtime. Good for him. Like you you gave your team a chance. Like I'm not going to complain about a little hook shot from a veteran center who didn't have like that would have been a lucky shot.
Mm-hmm.
What Yeah, it's just why are they double teaming him? How do you lose? How does someone go uncovered? Like that's
I don't know.
awful.
He was overthinking it. I really think that Stevens was overthinking
Yeah.
what to do, and he was just like, "Oh, what if they lob it here? Like, just play man to man straight up. There's 0.5 of a second, and just play it out. You don't need to go into this fancy zone." And obviously Stevens is a great coach and draws up a
Yeah.
bunch of good stuff, but this one I'm just like, just go
And
straight up man to man.
I like putting Taco in. Obviously, that's good. But
Hmm.
here's another thought. Honestly, with that much time left, I wouldn't even have a guy. Like, if there's someone who's like KG was insane at guarding inbounds. Like, he would
Yeah.
jump all around,
Mhm.
block it. Like, he was nasty at it. Is it worth even doing it? Because with that much time left, they can't pass it and pass it back to the guy inbounding. Like, Lowry was basically giving himself up.
Yeah.
So I would have just put. So who'd they take out? They took Kemba out
I
in
would
that situation.
I would honestly put Taco in Tice's spot. That's a good
Exactly.
to
So
take away that lob.
You could have gone Rob Will or Tice or Rob Will and Taco.
Mm-hmm.
Just have Taco stand there because Saul's not going to move around him. He's too
Yeah,
big.
no way.
And then you have
Smart, Brown, and Tatum
yeah,
for the rest.
and you have nobody guard the inbound. In that case, you double team whatever guy you're selling out on, but then there's not a ton of room. So just have a guy on everyone and like just locked on him. Like if you have your hands up and he hits the shot, great. But yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. Looking at it though, I just saw this. Lowry Anunoby. So Lowry played 46 minutes and Anunoby played 45 with Van Vliet at 41.
Wow. Okay,
And
this is another thing. Lowry and Van Vliet got 5 fouls with like 4 minutes left in the game. Can we stink and drive at their heads?
Yeah, I know exactly.
Like, come on, guys.
They both had 5 fouls, and Lowry played 46 minutes. Like, how does he not foul out? That doesn't make sense.
I know.
I don't understand it. And then again, it's tough here, but it's been all year with the Celtics where they don't get bench production, which again, they're not really
They're not
like that's not how
relying on
that's not how they're built. But again, it would be nice if at least one guy off the bench is and that's where. So I've been saying it this whole series, but looking at the box score now, this is where Hayward hurts because Smart is really the only capable guy on the Celtics to have a double
Yeah.
digit game off the bench. So you have Hayward, you have the entire starting lineup, 4 of the 5, because Tice probably isn't going to go double digits, but 4 of the 5 getting double digits, and then someone off the bench who will give you 10 plus. Here, I don't know who that is. Wanamaker and Grant Williams both had 5 as the highest scorers off the
Yeah.
bench.
So
But other than
Grant
that,
was a
like,
Grant was a plus 11 and Kemba was a plus 11. The
Mhm.
only 2 double digit plus. Grant, I love Grant. He plays
I do
hard.
too.
He had 4 fouls. I mean, he asserts himself. Like he just kind of he doesn't you don't notice him, but he
He's a
makes
bigger
the
Marcus
plays.
Smart. He's a bigger Marcus
Exactly.
Smart.
Exactly. And he can guard the bigger guy like Smart. Not as quick, but he makes the play. And 20 points from the bench that's really all you're asking. Like that's
Yeah,
fine. If they get 20
that is.
points,
Mhm.
Tatum usually puts up double what he put today. Brown puts up a little bit more. Smart usually puts up 5 or 6 more than what he put today. And then maybe knock Kemba down a little bit. But Brown and Tatum have been basically putting up 50 every single game combined, and they only put up 34. Like they didn't make shots this game. That's fine. Like
Yeah.
off game, if an off game needs Toronto to hit a buzzer beater 3, they're fine.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they went fine from the field, 47%. It's just the 3-pointers, 31% from 3,
Yeah,
kills you. Like that doesn't.
they didn't shoot bad, except the guys who like it's as a team they didn't shoot bad, but it's the 5 for 18 from Tatum. That's just he puts 5 more points, right? And
I
then you
also
look
feel
at
like,
and
yeah, go ahead.
I hate looking at this is like free throws. Like Tatum doesn't miss
Yeah,
free
yeah,
throws. He went 4 for 6. We win the game.
yep.
Tice went 1 for 2. Like Brown went 1 for 2. Smart went 1 for 2.
But then
like,
you can so you can go on the other side. You can
Yeah,
go
they
on
went
the other
9 for
side.
16. Yeah.
Exactly. But so that's why I don't like free throws. But yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
The
it's
one
like
the one that's more telling though is this is their second game in a row with a lot. Or I wouldn't even say a lot, but they had 14 turnovers tonight,
too many
and
turnovers.
then the other night
They had 20.
they had 20. No, they had 17, but still, that's a
17.
lot.
That's
They had
too many turnovers.
17 and 14 turnovers. That's a lot. Take care of
And
the
I feel
ball,
like
cut it to 10. That's an easy win.
and so Toronto had 13. Our
Mm-hmm.
their 13 is us being like
Defense.
good
Based
defense.
on, exactly.
Our 14, I feel like, is us just like doing the classic Celtics thing where you pass too much.
Rushing it. They rush it a lot. And I feel like
They rush, but it's also like there's so many times where there's great ball movement. Like there was a play, I think that Cantor scored in the third. Might have not been Cantor. Someone got a layup where we passed it like 7 times, maybe even 8 times, and just ran around cutting and stuff. That's great, but that also leads to an easy turnover. Like when you're passing cross court, like left and right,
passing
5,
too
6
much,
times,
exactly.
like don't overpass. Yes, it's great. Like ball movement's great. You get the open guy most of the time, but that's also the turnovers, and they do rush it, like you were saying.
They rush it, and then they also have when, like you're saying, with the ball movement, they have the occasional, pump fake and drive that'll be a travel where they take like 3 steps in place. Like that, I don't like
the
that.
The only guy who
either.
does that is freaking Brad Wanamaker.
No pass, Brad.
No pass, Brad had 2 turnovers, and I swear both of them were travels. Brown had a couple though too.
Yeah,
freaking no pass, Brad. Oh, that guy pisses me off.
Yeah, I know.
The other thing that's happened way more than you ever see it is stepping out of bounds. Like Grant went to shoot a 3 in this game, and he was like both feet were out of bounds because there's no stands.
Well, that's funny. It's that too, but also it's funny that they say that because I've been seeing that a lot in the bubble with people stepping out of bounds, like a punt. Well, I was going to go to the J.R. Smith one, but
that was awesome. That was like 4 feet.
Oh
that guy's special.
Whatever. But anyways, what they said was they wanted thicker lines for the baselines and sidelines, and the players agreed because they wanted to see that, to see the lines better on the court, but it also benefits the refs. They make like it's an easy call now that the line, like you can see that easily. Yeah. Like I bet
I'm not complaining about that, but like
yeah, I know.
It's so it is funny. It is funny that like it's noticeable how like the depth thing is off for them because you got no fans 2 feet into the off the baseline.
Just right now, Jaylen Brown in his post-game press conference, the quote that stood out, he said, "That was just an effing disgrace at the end of the game. I take responsibility for that." So I feel like it might have been not they might have had that man to man, but Jaylen might have seen something where Gasol looked like he was bigger than Tyson, wanted to go help out on his own, and kind of went against the play. Because he was guarding Anunoby at the beginning of that, but then he kind of left him for Gasol in the middle. So I don't know. He said he owned up to it. Whatever. It is what it is. They still.
See, this is different between this year's team and any Kyrie team. Like 2018 was weird. Like they went 10-0 at home leading into Game 7 of the conference finals. Like,
well, this is essentially that team except Kemba's here.
No, but Kemba's with loads of more experience. Tatum's a superstar and Brown is a star.
That is true.
You went from rookie Tatum to second-year Brown, who like didn't play his rookie year barely, to chucking up Smart, who wasn't that good of a shooter, to
Terry Rozier
and T. Rose. It was a weird team.
Yeah.
Who they just went on a magical run. Who knows how they won games? But this team, like, that's exact. Like, is a Raptors player saying that what Jaylen Brown just said?
No.
Not a chance.
And another thing, with the absence of Kyrie, he takes that shot instead of passes that to Tice. He takes that fall away and gets stuffed into the ground, and we're sitting here like, what the F Kyrie instead of what the F OG Anunoby. But anyways, he doesn't make that play at all.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
No.
But this team,
go ahead.
This team's they're built to bounce back. They know like this. It's better. It's just the whole mentality is like they're here to win, and I like that. Like, there's no messing around. They lost a game. They know what happened, and they're going to come back with it. I think they're going to win big.
Yeah. Yep. I think so too. They're bound for it.
I think if Toronto comes out like hot in the first like 5 minutes in the season, like are right there with them, it's Toronto's like picture like Toronto comes out, puts up like 15 in the first 3 minutes of the game, and the C's are right there. They're like, F this, like what we can't do it. Like they have nothing to go to.
Yep. And just one more thing as we wrap this up, because we've been talking for a while. One thing that is promising that I like to see is, although Tatum only had 15 points, he did have 6 assists. And I like to see that he is learning to pass the ball when he's getting doubled, finding the open guy, and that's what's going to elevate him to that next level.
Yeah, 15, 9, and 6, like pretty good stat. 15 obviously is not good for him, but
9 and 6.
9 and 6, like he's done that for a couple games now, where he's starting to fill the rest of the stat sheet. So they're fine. It would have been nice to be up 3-0. We would have been floating on cloud 9 right now, but it's fine. Think about it like 2-1. We're up 2-1 against a series that we didn't think was going to be an easy series. So we're fine. They're fine.
You good?
I'm good.
Yeah. Tough one tonight between the Celtics and the Raptors, 2-1 in that series. Their next game is in 2 days on Saturday. We'll be watching that one and hopefully getting another episode like this out for you guys. Could be with different people, could be the same people, whatever. But this is going to be our new segment where we have live day of reactions, other things that we want to talk about. It's usually going to be 1 or 2 people talking about it in a shorter episode like this, 20-25 minutes. But we will still see you guys on Monday for our regularly scheduled podcasts, where we'll have all our normal segments and stuff like that. But in the meantime, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Big4_podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and see you next time.